Good morning and welcome to Lytham Crematorium and Cemetery. That's in Lytham, just outside Blackpool in Lancashire. Right, today we're here to visit the final resting place of one of my favourite comedians. He was absolutely brilliant when he played his piano. I mean, he's a very good pianist, but he deliberately put the wrong notes in to make it funny, and it was really funny. And he hosted Blankety Blank for a while, and he always used to mock the fact that the BBC used to give away a chequebook and pen as a runners-up prize. Very funny man, and that is of course Les Dawson. Yeah, he also used to do the two old ladies that used to say one thing but mouth another, so that people wouldn't know what they're talking about. And there's always some kind of smutty comments or something like that. Absolutely brilliant. And of course, the ultimate mother-in-law jokes. No matter what he did, I found that man extremely funny. Anyway, what I'll do is I'll spin you around. It's early on a Sunday morning. I'll spin you around, we'll have a look around the actual cemetery while I tell you a little bit about Les Dawson.
Les Dawson was born in Collyhurst, Manchester on the 2nd of February 1931, the only child of bricklayer Leslie Dawson and Julia Nolan, who was of Irish descent. His first job was in the parcels department of the Manchester Co-op. He also worked briefly as a journalist for the Bury Times. Early in life, Dawson wrote poetry and kept it secret. It was not expected that someone of his working class background would have literary ambitions. In a BBC documentary, he spoke of his love of canonical figures in English literature. The 19th century essayist Charles Lamb, whose florid style influenced Dawson. He did, moreover, appear with the Nelson players in Nelson, Lancashire, as Mr. Justice Wainwright and Carter, Chief Clerk to Sir Wilfrid Roberts QC, in Agatha Christie's play Witness for the Prosecution in December 1956. Dawson wrote in his autobiography that he had a job as a pianist in a Parisian brothel. Making a living evolved into comedy when he got laughs for deliberately bad piano playing by playing all the wrong notes in all the right order, and complaining to the audience. He was a talented pianist but developed a gag in which he played a familiar piece such as Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata and then introduced hideously wrong notes without appearing to realise, smiling unctuously and relishing the accuracy and soul of his own performance. He made his television debut on the talent show Opportunity Knocks in 1967 and worked as a comic on British television for the rest of his life. Television series in which he appeared included The Panel Game, Joker's Wild, 1969-73, hosted by Barry Cryer, Says Les, 1969-76, and Dawson's Weekly, 1975, all for Yorkshire Television. After joining the BBC, his TV projects were The Dawson Watch, 1979-80, The Les Dawson Show, 1978-89, and quiz show Blankety Blank, which he hosted from 1984 until its cancellation in 1990. Dawson starred in Listen to Les on BBC Radio 2 in the 1970s and 1980s. He made many appearances on BBC Television's variety show The Good Old Days in the 1970s and 1980s. He co-hosted Prince Edward's charity television special The Grand Knockout Special in 1987. When Richard Wilson turned down the part of Victor Meldrew in the BBC sitcom One Foot in the Grave, writer David Fennick considered Les Dawson for the role, but Wilson changed his mind before it was offered. In 1991, Dawson starred in the BBC television production of Nona, an adaptation of the 1977 play Law Nona. Performing in drag, he was cast as a 100-year-old compulsive eater in a Buenos Aires household. Dawson was a subject of This Is Your Life on 2 occasions. In December 1971, when Eamon Andrews surprised him on Opportunity Knocks, and again 21 years later in what would be one of his last television appearances. He was surprised by Michael Aspel on stage at the Theatre Royal Plymouth at the curtain call of the pantomime Dick Whittington in December 1992. His final TV appearance was on the LWT series Surprise Surprise, hosted by Cilla Black, in which he sang a comic rendition of I Got You Babe with a woman from the audience who wanted to sing with him. The episode was aired shortly after his death. Dawson was a heavy smoker and drinker. When not working, he would often drink a bottle of whiskey and smoke 50 cigarettes a day. He was initiated into the famous show business fraternity, the Grand Order of Water Rats, and served as that order's king rat in 1985. Dawson also wrote novels. He told his second wife Tracy, "Always remind them I was a writer too." Having broken his jaw in a boxing match, he could pull grotesque faces by pulling his jaw over his upper lip. Dawson was married to his first wife Margaret from 25th of June 1960 until her death on 15th of April 1986 from cancer. They had 3 children, Julie, Pamela and Stuart. On the 3rd of September 1988, he suffered a heart attack in Blackpool and spent 9 days in hospital. He married his second wife Tracy Roper on the 6th of May 1989. She was 17 years younger. They had a daughter, Charlotte, who was born 3rd of October 1992. He died suddenly, aged 62, on the 10th of June 1993 from a heart attack during treatment for a heart complaint at St Joseph's Hospital in Manchester. He is buried at Lytham Cemetery and Crematorium in Lytham St Anne's, Lancashire, which is where we are today.
Well, that's all the information I could get on Les Dawson. His final resting place is just up here in front of me. So I'll spin you around, and as per usual, we'll go and have a look at it together. Right, it's just over here. He's buried with his wife. Alright, where are we? Here he is. This is the final resting place of Les Dawson. In loving memory of Meg Dawson, beloved wife and mother, died 15th of April 1986, aged 48 years and now grandma. Also, Les Dawson, beloved husband, dad and granddad, died 10th of June 1993, aged 62 years. He walks in the warmth of eternal sunshine and sleeps where no shadows fall. Peace. And that is the final resting place of comedian, actor, writer, Les Dawson. Well, that was the final resting place of Les Dawson. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. And if you like the content, maybe consider subscribing. It's absolutely free. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you will be notified every time a new video is released. Right, that's me, Darren, from near Blackpool, Lytham Crematorium and Cemetery in Lancashire. I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.